Guess who's decided to step into the ring after 3 years? It's none other than Jon Jones.
Jones has regained the throne!
And Jamahal HIill is hoping to catch him in a good old bout of the fisticuffs. HIill had been waiting for this moment for a long time. It looks like someone's got some things on his bucket list. And now he's got the opportunity to actually cross them out, considering how Jon Jones has decided to make an epic return. You all know that once upon a long time ago, actually just 3 years ago, Jon Jones used to hold the same title that HIill's got under his belt now. Yep, I'm referring to the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship title.
Huge victory for Jon Jones.
Along the way, HIill's encountered plenty of people who have disagreed about him being rewarded that title. But hey, whatever they say, you can't deny HIill worked hard to earn it. Okay, before I go off on a tangent, let's go back to what you're all here for. The dream that Sweet Dreams has had on his mind. A fight in the ring against 35-year-old former champ Jon Jones. HIill opened up about this wish of his in an exclusive interview with Sportskeeda MMA, where he said he would 1000% want to face off against Jones.
Now that you're champ, has it crossed your mind now about a potential fight with him at some point? I don't know. Like, again, you just won the title. I want to be clear about that. I like champions defending their belts and then we start talking about super fights. Yeah. But now that you've won the belt, has it crossed your mind about getting to fight him maybe at heavyweight?
Yeah, it's never stopped crossing my mind. 1,000%. I want to build I still got some building to do, right? I still have defenses that I have to make and things like that. But is that something a challenge that I want for the future? Yes. It is.
Because deep down, Sweet Dreams knows it's going to be one heck of a challenge. And you know these MMA fighters, they sure love pushing themselves.
That's the thing. He used to come pick me up and push me to grind. I just grind it out. Chad has been instrumental to me having success and coming full circle like I have as the man that I have.
HIill's the new light heavyweight champ, and Jones is back in all his glory. But there's a crucial piece missing here though, and it's that Jones isn't back in the light heavyweight category. He's actually going to be competing in the heavyweight category this time around. This means that both HIill and Jones are on pretty much different paths in their careers. In light of that, a match between the two seems kind of unlikely right now. Still, that's not going to stop HIill from having those sweet dreams of a match against the former champ, even though he himself admitted that it's not something that can happen soon enough. It's pretty obvious a HIill versus Jones clash won't be happening this soon. There's a long way to go for HIill. He'll have to level up to fight Jones in the octagon. For now, HIill's going to fight in the light heavyweight category. But if he wants to have that match with Jones, he'll have to move up to the heavyweight category. And in order to do that, the 31-year-old will have to work hard. In the same interview, HIill admitted that he knows to see his dream come true, he'll have to work on himself and polish up his defenses. It's definitely going to be a challenge, but it's something HIill wants. Because in the end, for a fighter like HIill, Jones is the ultimate test. But it's no big deal. Why? Because that's what I'm hearing. So you know how HIill's looking forward to improving himself and eventually getting into the ring with Jones.
Very nice. Were you surprised that he weighed in basically at the very beginning, even though he had missed weight? Like, it wasn't like he tried to cut until the very end. He weighed in heavy.
No. I mean, I know what it's like, how hard it can be to cut weight. I don't. Personally, I make sure I'm on weight before, and I make sure it goes as smoothly as possible for me. But earlier in my career, and whenever I did cut weight, I remember how bad it sucked. And he was probably hungry. He was ready to eat. I'll give away that. I'll pay that little something so I can go ahead and start replenishing my body. So I get it.
But it hadn't always been Jones that he had his eyes on. No, not at all. In fact, in the very beginning, the 31-year-old's target had been Anderson Silva. This was all the way back in 2010, and it was the same time that Silva sustained an injury while HIill found himself straying away from the MMA. Because of the issue with money, Sweet Dreams had to take up a day job, and he was just about to give up pursuing fighting in the octagon as a career. And then, the tide shifted. What happened? Well, a pivotal moment. Something that brought HIill back into the game. I'm talking about Conor McGregor defeating Jose Aldo, the man who had managed to stay undefeated for a total of 10 years. When HIill saw what Conor had accomplished, it rekindled a fire in him. If Conor could do it, so could he. All that HIill lacked was the thrill of a chase, a target to set his eyes on and get that adrenaline rush going. So HIill picked Jon Jones, and it's the one reason that he's kept going for so long. But I wouldn't get too cocky. Sweet Dreams has his work cut out for him. It's only been 2 weeks since HIill became the UFC light heavyweight champion, and it hasn't exactly been a smooth ride for the guy. When it was announced that the 31-year-old's going to be competing for that title, it came across quite a surprise to UFC fans. Honestly, I don't blame them when you take into account how Sweet Dreams has been a part of only 14 professional bouts, meaning he's not all that experienced as a UFC title holder. But he's got it now, and with the title in possession, it means only one thing. he'll have to defend it from the rest of the competitors. And one of them happens to be Yeezy Prochazka, who actually had to give up the title due to an injury he sustained. It's being speculated that Prochazka might recover by July or August, so it doesn't look like a fight between Hill and Prochazka is going to happen anytime soon. The other option under debate right now is the Russian MMA Magomed Ankalaev. He performed pretty well against the Polish fighter Jan Blachowicz last month, so if Prochazka isn't available immediately due to health reasons, you can look forward to Hill and Blachowicz going at it in the ring. I mean, if Hill can take down Glover Teixeira in order to win the crown of the light heavyweight champion, he can accomplish anything at this point. Maybe people have been underestimating this relatively inexperienced MMA fighter, but after what he showed what he's capable of just 2 weeks ago, there shouldn't be any more doubts. With Hill claiming the light heavyweight championship title, you must be wondering what's looming on the horizon for Jon Jones. He's got a fight coming up. The UFC heavyweight title has been sitting all vacant now, but that won't be the case on March 5th. Why is that so? Because that's when Cyril Gane and Jon Jones will meet each other in the octagon in an epic showdown to see who gets to grab that title. Speaking of that, guess who had some thoughts about this upcoming match? Yep, it's Jamahal HIill once again.
It's in the works. I'll send you the paperwork.
The champion of your division, Jon Jones, is kind of going back and forth with Dana White said, like, why don't you just release me if you don't see my worth? What do you make of this drama between the president and the champion of your division?
I don't care. To be honest, I really don't care, bro. Either you want to fight or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm just putting my footprint down in this game whenever it's time for me to step up and highlight Jon, and I'll step up and highlight Jon. But I definitely feel like at some point in my career, that's something that's got to happen. For me, that's something that has to happen.
Are you a big Halle Berry fan?
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
According to Hill, both Jones and Gane possess a wide range of talent, but there are some things that Jones just does better. Jones's strength lies in his chain wrestling ability, and from what Hill had to say, that might prove to be the decisive factor in the fight against Gane. Hill even went as far to say that the bettors should pick Jones as their final choice, because everyone knows what the guy's capable of, and once he gets into top position, well, let's just say it ends up being a win for Jones, but a nightmare for his opponent. What's more, Hill believes that Jon knows his strengths pretty well and he won't shy away from utilizing them in the ring. For now, it's just a matter of waiting until March 5th, because that's when all of us will find out who's going to take over as the UFC heavyweight champion. So there's that to look forward to. Speaking of things to look forward to, has Jones said anything about Hill's wish to see him in the ring? When Hill was crowned the title, plenty of fighters congratulated the 31-year-old on his well-deserved win. And among those also happened to be Jon Jones. The latter wished Hill a simple congratulations on Twitter, and for someone who looks up to Jones so much, it must have been a pretty big deal for Sweet Dreams. But as far as interactions between these two go, this is the only recent one. There hasn't been any response from Jones himself to what Hill expressed in this latest interview. You know the drill though. If anything comes up, you'll be hearing from me. So what do you make of Hill wanting to get into a bout with Jon Jones?